I'm doing this for the last time. This website will definitely close in a couple of weeks. It's not that I don't want to save lives, but I can't spend any more time. I'm 78, and I've been at this for 36 years. And this brain diet will reverse memory loss, crippling, paralyzing, and Parkinsonism, and God knows how many other diseases. That's all I can tell you. And I see my battery isn't going to last. Oh my God, I've got to do this all over again. I've tried this so many times now. This time I'm trying to do it for people who are hearing impaired and they need to read. And this will be my last effort. This site has to close down. I'm 78, COVID isolation, and I'm not going to survive. And I've been at this 36 years. I tried to save children from going through what I went through. I started to cripple at the age of 6. Now this is a brain diet, and it worked. It reversed memory loss and crippling, paralyzing. It is nature's natural amphetamine. And I'm hoping that this is close enough that you can read and see. This is who I used to be. I was wealthy, brilliant, quite famous in certain investment circles, and beautiful. And it didn't save me from canola oil, toxic chemicals, and destroyed my life. Now that story is online. I'm not going to go into big details. I want to really skip to the bottom line here so that you understand it is possible. But it requires 100% organic and raw okra. And my story is too complicated and too long. It's out there on YouTube. I'm going to skip all that. But the okra diet for disease control works. That's all I can tell you. And I'm very tired and I'm in pain. And I'm doing the best I can, but I can't keep this website going. It's costing too much money and too much time, and I don't have either to give. And I did go from death to dancing and crippled to skiing, and at the age of 72, I was fabulous. And I used a gas mask for 36 years. MSA in Pittsburgh sent me the bubble, this one, first, and then they sent me this one second. I flew to New York in the bubble, and the second one I used to ski. I had a lovely article on the story on okra in 1988, and 98, and it didn't get any support. I did manage to get enough support that you can find out the truth about canola, but you're not going to find out much about okra, and it's got to be raw to work. This was another wonderful article, and it was done by the Northern Life, which is now gone, extinct. But it also didn't get any support. The most support I got was in 1996 from the Sun and Americans. That helped me a lot. That really helped me a lot. This was another really good article. They accidentally changed my name to Marie instead of Trudy, but it doesn't matter. But you won't find this anywhere. I'm sorry. And pesticides, we now know the truth. You can look that up. I don't need to go into detail. And if you suffer from cramps after eating, you've been poisoned, or you're constipated, flush out. Very simple. Now, I had to use 22 raw okra, and within 24 hours, and I stopped paralyzing, and within 3 days, I got memory, but I had to relearn. I had lost the ability to read or write. But just organic, 100% organic, or hydro. I had trouble saying that word. Hydroponic. Why do they make words so difficult? Hydroponics. That's with no chemicals. Either organic or hydroponics. And you just have to read it, I'm sorry. I'm hoping that you can freeze. Now this was a diet that I came up with for Dan. He couldn't lose weight, and it turned out eggs affected, which is a protein, he was on a high protein diet, but eggs affected him so that he couldn't lose weight. And we had to detox him. The best detox on the planet is okra, raw okra in a broth, a vegetable broth, and just detox with kale, as long as it's organic or hydroponic, no chemicals. I'm just going to say clean, okay? Clean means organic for me and no chemicals. And it turned out that eggs affected his metabolism. So when he went off eggs, he could lose weight. Not everybody has a metabolic rate like that, but for whatever reason, eggs slowed down his metabolism. So I treated food like an allergy. We detoxed and then we put him on one food a day until we figured out which one was the problem. Now, okra is very high in riboflavin, niacin, iron, zinc, copper, vitamin A, C, B, and all of that. Now, if you're not a good reader, I have all of this on video, and I speak about it. But now I'm trying to give you the print form because I can't get the print form up on video any other way. And this is my last attempt. I've run out of money and I've run out of files for my GoPro. Again, turnips can be very healthy. All of these things are great. Extra virgin olive oil, portobello mushrooms is a go-to protein for me with spinach. By the way, don't eat spinach with dairy, but I'll get to that in a minute. And this is a complete system on how to develop your own diet. No white sugar, no white carbs, no white pasta, no white rice, no canola, and no rape, R-A-P-E, no MSG or chemical additives. Just go organic. Now be careful about canola oil. They're going to say it's organic, and that's a lie. It's a Monsanto genetically modified product, and it's full of poison, and don't touch it. It's the cause of my disease. And if you can, stick to produce that's fresh, closer to home, because importing, they are bringing in bug eggs and African eggs that can kill you in 8 days. Yes. But a lot of this is now online. When I first started this research 36 years ago, it wasn't. Once you have detoxed and reversed the majority of whatever disease is in your system by going completely organic for 3 months, 2-3 a day raw okra. Now, okra is a cactus, so it grows without a lot of chemicals. So even if you can't get it organic, it's perfectly fine. I get it frozen because I'm in Northern Ontario. By the time it gets here fresh, it's rotting. And the same with most of the organic foods that they ship from the South America and other places. But it must be raw. If you cook it, it's okay for heart disease, but it's not going to work if it's cooked for the brain. Red Swiss chard, organic. It will detoxify bladder, kidneys, liver, But if you can't get that, milk thistle also will work, along with okra. Now, odorless garlic pills, they are amazing benefits. I have taken up to 300 and 400 a day, but they have to be coated to do that. So be careful. Mouthwash, I can't use toothpaste. I have to use peroxide, 3% peroxide. I start to choke if I use toothpaste. And no tap water. It has chlorine in it and microscopic rocks which cause cardiovascular disease. It's got to be distilled or filtered. And Roquefort blue cheese, it's nature's penicillin. I use just a little bit once a week in a salad or on toast. My bread is, of course, organic. This is my most recent Advantage gas mask. You can zoom to see that. Available at any safety supply. And it 100% protects from all toxic hydrocarbons in the air, gas, oil, diesel. Without it, I would be dead. Pure olive oil, organic yogurt. Substitute all sugars with honey or maple syrup. No sulfites, of course. Should be organic. Apple cider vinegar, organic. 1 spoon a day. We do all our laundry in baking soda. No toxic cleaners, bleach, ammonia, throw everything out. They're the main cause of brain disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. No strict carbohydrates. You should know about that by now. It's got to be high fiber, multi-grain, whole wheat, and vegan has got to be organic, and no canola. I had to boycott restaurants and eating other people's food because I can't trust what they're doing. Fennel, organic if you can get it. I had to take this out of my diet because I can't get it anymore. Now, ground cinnamon, a little target belly fat if you can. Put a teaspoon in a decaf coffee, 1 a day, and it'll really help you. That's how I started my morning when I had to do a lot of work on this research. I get frozen fruit and vegetables organic because, as I mentioned before, where I live, fresh is not safe. Now, we have a couple of farms that are starting to go organic, but they're not available in the winter. And I don't buy anything online. If I can't touch it, see it, and feel it, I ain't going to touch it. That's why I'm losing my website. And the pollutants in the ground, they affect the food, even if it's not pesticides. You really have to be careful where it's from. Anything in Sudbury is really toxic. If we go a little bit north of Sudbury, it's okay. Or west, because that is removed from our smelter. The water, of course, is vital to your health. And I know that many of you are vegetarian and vegan. That's great if you can. But if not, this is for people who have to have a certain amount of meat. I have to have a small amount. I get organic, skinless, boneless chicken. And I cook it in distilled water, and then I add garlic and herbs and vegetables and carrots and onions and kale and whatever you can find that's organic. Sometimes I put in curry powders, red pepper, red cayenne pepper, but never black. Black is bad for the heart. Grain-fed veal is okay, but I don't use that anymore. Buffalo meat is wonderful if you can get it, but we can't get that here anymore. I do get organic beef ground about twice a year. That's it. I don't eat a lot of meat. And pork, grain-fed organic, no antibiotics or drugs. I stopped eating pork because they do research, and I now know that genetically a pig is very similar to a human. So the very thought of eating a pork has kind of gone out of my head. I'm not doing that no more. No liver of any kind, unless it's 100% organic, because the liver is absorbs too many chemicals. Fish, no cod, pike, or sucker fish of any kind. Pickerel, rainbow, trout, bass if available. Seafood is very hard for people who are sick to digest. Scallops, frozen from the northern east coast, far north as you can get it away from, not from a polluted area, of course. And be very careful. If you overcook it, it's hard, and if you undercook it, it's not safe to eat. So it's very delicate. I get frozen shrimp already pre-cooked, but I throw it in boiling water for a couple of seconds just to kill off any bacteria it may contain. No tuna whatsoever is safe, none. Cheese is high in fat, so eat that sparingly. Make sure it's organic. Eggs, organic only. I eat a lot of eggs. Vegetarian protein burgers, I prefer the ones that are, there are a number of different ones, but I like the ones that is the portobello mushroom and brown rice. There is a place that makes pies that are organic, but it's over an hour's drive from here, and I can't do that anymore. No white potatoes, but sweet potatoes are high in vitamin A. It should be organic. Well, it has to be organic. I was really well, but I have a parasitical fat cell tumor, and it took me down. Bread, organic, sourdough, sprouted grains, it has to be sprouted, it has to be organic. Flaxseed chia mixed in there is great. Pasta, whole grain, multigrains, vegetarian, vegetable pasta, all organic. Rice, brown, black, and red, all good. Now my allergy research follows is a little quick tip on dust mites. If you can maintain 45% or less humidity, they die. At 46% and higher, they breed in the billions. Remove all carpeting. And today I'm well enough that they no longer bother me the way they did, but I used to take a paralyzing attack, and I would be in an attack paralyzed for months. One time, 5 months, I couldn't function. I had a wonderful man that helped keep me alive. He is my partner today. But yes, and soap I can't use, and no ammonia or bleaches. Avoid all soaps and perfumes. And if you have to use a carpet, make sure it's washable. And careful you don't slip on it. But no synthetics. And a beauty and bath tip. I soak in baking soda and olive oil or almond oil. Organic. No hair dyes with ammonia. They are the main cause of cancer and brain diseases. Now, the bedroom is the most important room there is. While you sleep, your immune system will weaken. I have a Z-Bed organic mattress. Now, it did cost Canadian $2,000 to $4,000, but it beats having knee and hip surgery. Yes, I was going to have hip surgery, and at 78, I canceled the surgery, and I'm okay. It contours to your body, and it relieves all pressure from the sciatic nerve. So do some research, and you'll find that online. And if you buy a car, you can buy a mattress that will keep you out of the hospital. Plastic bleeds toxic petroleum oil that you breathe, so be careful of that. There are many filters A biotech activated charcoal filter originally is what I use, but today there is a MERS 11. There's a number of filters that are, I've been at this for 36 years, and modern technology is starting to catch up with me. So just this year, I got a new filter that is 100%. And it's also being used in the gas mask equipment. No toxic fabric softeners in the wash. You are poisoning your children. Boycott China, India, and Africa. They are using deadly toxic dyes. If you can smell it, it's poisoning you. Mold is another very, very serious problem. Keep a light on in your kitchen and bathroom. Wet areas breed mold rapidly, but light will kill mold. Their spores are microscopic. You cannot even see it. They grow in damp, wet conditions, but not all molds are toxic. The mold in blue cheese and fungi mushrooms can be a lifesaver. Basements are a killer. Dripping faucets. Look it up. That's all online now. You don't need me for that. Now, chemical hypersensitivities or toxic shock syndrome and allergy attacks. Sorry, this is 2020, July, and you need me for this because you're not going to get it from a doctor. We are so being lied to, and this is a major cover-up by the chemical industry, Monsanto and Bayer and Health Canada in particular is a fascist, corrupt agency. So, yes, be very, very careful. And okra will reverse it. But you may not have the allergy. What you need to look at is you are being poisoned. Yes, it's not an allergy to be poisoned. A poison is a poison is a poison. Gas, diesel, propane fumes are not carrot juice. What you smell, your body is drinking. Now, I'm 34 years clean and sober, but I am allergic to alcohol, whether I drink it or sniff it. And it triggered in me an addictive cycle that I couldn't stop until I passed out. And then I had months of blackouts. I'm not saying that's normal. That's because I'm chemically hypersensitive. But I am the future. Your children will be born like me. Now, one of the main treatments for an allergy attack or a toxic shock syndrome is do not sit down. Walk, pace, up and down. Pace, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Keep your body moving, and it'll induce adrenaline. Use an ice pack at the base of your neck. You can control many of these attacks by knowing what the cause is from. And I drive in my gas mask 1 hour to find clean air for a 15-minute walk in clean air, and it's worth it. Yes, it's a very quick detox. Kombucha is a product that claims to detox, but I got news for you. It made me sick. Canola oil is poison. You can look it up. I'm not going to go into it. There's enough information on it now. You don't need me for that. No genetically modified food is safe. Health supplements are not part of my Okra for Life system as such, but I do use supplements. And I list some of which are safe for me, and that's online. Now, yeast infections are caused by wearing too many tight jeans, nylon, or synthetic panties. I learned that 25 years ago. Only cotton is safe. And inside a bikini bathing suit, I wear a cotton bikini panty to protect myself. And yes, that was me. Wasn't I gorgeous? Yeah, that was me. 72 years old. I was perfect. And then the tumor took me down, and that was that. Sick all over again. I shouldn't have moved. That's probably making a lot of noise there. I'm sorry about that. But the allergies or chemical hypersensitivities can affect you in so many ways. Men are genetically different from women, but doctors are too stupid to admit that. But some are starting to do that. And that's the best I can give you, very quickly and very briefly. The keto diet is not safe. You cannot deprive your cells of carbohydrates for a long period of time, or the cells will start to die. And dancing, take up dancing, because I know people who reversed heart disease with dancing, and even the Centers for Disease Control admitted they did a 10-year study, and it did reverse memory loss and bone loss. And when you consider I'm crippled for 76 years, and I'm 78 and still here. Now, I recently discovered that I thought oil was a carbohydrate. No doctor ever told me that it was anything else. And I was oil deprived because I eat so much raw, and I don't cook with oil unless I'm cooking or stir frying. I had to get oil back into my diet. So it didn't take long. I just took a teaspoon of organic olive oil. But I was misinformed. We do need some oil. Now, I don't eat fish because I can't get any fish that's not toxic here. I do eat sardines when I can get it, and I make sure that it's in anything but canola. And I like the skinless, boneless, and I eat it with apple cider vinegar. Now, I find butter hard to digest, but some people, my mother was fine with butter. A little bit of butter doesn't do you any harm at all. Coconut oil is good, I suppose, except I didn't like the taste. You know, it's all a matter of choice. I did a number of exercise videos and dance videos. They're all online on YouTube. You can go to my YouTube, Trudi Trahan-Upchan, and I've got over 500 videos, and that's going to last for 200 years. And this is the best that I could do. Now, here's my daily routine. Dad asked me to do this because he forgets, and when I get sick, I forget. I take halibut oil, 1 a day, unless I eat fish or sweet potatoes or carrots, which are high in vitamin A. Now, fish oil, like halibut oil, stays in your body, and it's not water soluble. However, from a sweet potato, it's beta-carotene, and you will not poison yourself on beta-carotene from a vegetable. But I know somebody who actually did, but you'd have to eat a ton. You know, he ate about a bushel of carrots a day for 7 days, and he wound up in the hospital. I mean, come on. He thought I was going to make him a genius. You know, it's stupid, right? Okay, a bilberry capsule, 1 a day. For 10 years, I couldn't drive at night, but one little bilberry, not blueberry, but a bilberry. And I can see like a cat at night, and I can drive. It did the same for my mother, and does the same for Dad, and he's got glaucoma. It didn't work for another girlfriend of mine who has glaucoma. So, but it's worth trying, and it worked for pilots in the Second World War. Garlic pills, coated, is really what's best. I can take the oil, but if you take too much of the oil, it can burn out the lining in your stomach. So just be careful how much you take. But if it's coated, I've tested it up to 300 and 400 a day, and I was fine. Not saying you should, but I'm just saying I did it. I'm going quick here because I'm running out of the battery. Now, I have kefir every day. I have a B complex every day. I have CalMag combo, which is from seaweed. Make sure it's a citrate, because if it's not a citrate, you're going to give yourself a disease. Your body will not absorb calcium from rocks. Okay? It's got to be a citrate. And raw okra every day. And I also take a NutriCollagen, 500 milligrams, because of inflammation, my lymph system. And tart cherry juice and organic cherries all help bring down the inflammation. But you can look up, the anti-inflammatory diets are now online. You don't need me for that. This was where, in 1960, they had information on okra for heart disease. Imagine that. If I'd only known. Of course, they didn't tell me I had to be organic, and they didn't tell me about canola oil in my diet. But this was from Europe. And I'm sorry that I have to let go of this site. It was an awful lot of work. But, you know, I'm just going to pause it here, and you can maybe try and read it if you can. I don't have much battery left. Yes, I tried to share my discoveries and save your children, but nobody cared. And this is the end. This site is going away. But I have enough on YouTube. And lawyers already know that Canada's laws, secret filing laws, promote the stealing of matrimonial home from the wife. Divorce in secret is legal in Canada, without you even having the right to be notified. Anybody can put their name on title without you being notified. That's just one of the many things I got involved in, besides helping get a gas mask equipment for the men in the mines. And when you die in Canada, an executor has the right to take ownership of all your properties. So you better be careful who you make as your executor. And these are the people I worked for, the little babies and the children, that they would not get my disease. I had one little article published on okra, and I got only one person was interested. Nobody cared. And that's going to be, I'm going to quickly run through this. Okay, read. You just have to freeze it and read it. Sorry, I'm running out here. Distress, mental illness. I covered all of that. I help people with schizophrenia. Lead in paint is now back in children's toys. Lyme's disease, got too many. All of this is known. Just our health departments aren't dealing with it. Department of Chemical Hazards helped me a great deal, as well as the CDC, Washington Post. Too many to list. Dr. Jaffe is long gone, but he was with National Institute in Drug Abuse. He helped me a great deal. And it'll help with concussion, constipation, sleep deprivation, and all of the above. And I put the entire diet out on video. I take you through the stores, and you can see what's safe and what isn't. And God bless. And this is the end of it. And I want to say a special thank you to Prince Charles, because he did try to fight and expose the truth on canola oil. It was banned in the United States until 1994. And then Health Canada committed terrible fraud and got the FDA ban lifted. And canola from rape causes Parkinsonism disease. Now all I can tell you is they keep saying that okra, organic is very expensive. Well, that may be true, but guess what? Getting a disease from eating food with chemicals in it costs me millions. So how much is your life worth? I won't be around much longer, and this is the end for me. God bless.
I'm not happy to report that I just gave up. I didn't care if I lived or died. And the watching Americans destroy the lives of their children with their insanity and refusing to accept wearing a mask and social distancing, because it will cause symptoms of it similar to my Parkinsonism disease. You see, it'll cause brain damage and damage to your organs and chronic illnesses. That's a side effect of being poisoned. In fact, it may even be worse because I don't have blood clots. I've got brain damage, but I don't have blood clotting. And COVID-19 is causing blood clotting. And anyway, and my research is still finished, and I've had no support. My website, I'm debating whether to shut it down or not. Nobody, 36 years of research into diets for disease control and reversing brain damage with raw okra, and how to do that. It took me 22 years, and I thought I could save the children. Well, I'm not saying I didn't save a few people, but I sure didn't save many. Anyhow, I did post, this was my first healthy meal in a couple of months. I went completely off my own program. I ate junk food up the yin-yang. I gained 15 pounds of belly fat. And because of the crippling and the paralyzing, I can't exercise. I pass out. Going to the bathroom, I'm passing out. I'm constipated from lack of eating. I'm not eating and I'm not exercising. So naturally, your bowels shut down. If your body shuts down, your bowels shuts down. Anyway, I don't have any good news except that I've finally detoxed with an okra soup to get to my feet so that I could make a decent meal for my partner, Dan, and I have to try to fight to survive. He works so hard to keep me alive. It's just not fair to him. Truthfully, I'm ready to get off the planet. I'm just so disgusted. I'm not much of an inspiration today. 78 and wish I wasn't here. But anyway, I did make a good healthy meal today. First time in months. I can't promise that I'm going to keep this up. But the junk food, I do want to say, has no canola oil or toxic chemicals, and I'm not allergic to it. I'm not saying it's healthy, okay? I ate chips, drowning in sunflower seed oil that, frankly, is an omega-6, and it's not good for the heart. So to combat that, I ate half a quart of yogurt, organic yogurt, with the chips. And with every chocolate bar I ate, I'd eat an apple. Well, something good and something bad. Could have been worse. But, yeah. So, yes, what can I say? Dear God, you children, I sure hope you do a better job than we did, because we've wrecked the planet and ourselves, and we've allowed China to destroy our lives and our economy. And people are fighting it. They don't want to wear a mask. They're calling it a hoax, yada, yada, yada. And that Trumpism, like fascism, is rampant. Yeah, I have nothing good to report. The research into COVID-19 right now is not looking good. People are getting it second and third time. Their immune system isn't, the antibodies aren't lasting permanently. It's still new, you know, we're only April, May, June, I can't even count. April, May, June, 3.5 months, going into the 4th month. We won't know anything until December. And I think it'll be 2 years before we get a vaccine. I may or may not be around, but anyway, this is just an update, and I'm going to add it to my Rights for All page, because I would like to see rights for all. I have been against racism all my life, did volunteer all my life, helped the military, get help from Americans, because I'm talking Canadian military, couldn't get any help here. And they were drugged, and they have severe, severe violent brain damage, brain stem damage, disorders, getting no help at all. So it's really tragic what's going on. But, well, who knows? Maybe someday. Maybe the next generation will be smarter than mine. God bless.
Well, the camera setting won't do justice to this beautiful baby kale I got. It is. South Karen, Sudbury District, and my battery's going out, but I just want you to see, oh my God, this is gorgeous. I got it at Chris Independent, and oh, it tastes a little funny and bitter for me because I'm not used to the flavor, but I'm sure it'll make a delicious salad. It's hydroponics, no chemicals, and talk about healthy. Whoopie-doo. Okay, this is my salad with organic tomatoes from Chris also. As you can see, yeah, this is Canadian. So, day 2 of the healthy meal. Gee, what's happening? Whoopie-doo, yummy yums. And I put in just a couple of drops of organic maple syrup, as well as I put in walnuts, organic, a little dab of yogurt, organic, and apple cider vinegar, organic, and organic extra virgin olive oil. Whoopie-doo. And at the very end, I'm sorry, I should have shut that fan off. But anyway, at the very end, I added the Roquefort blue cheese, which is nature's penicillin. I always try to have a bit of that with salad because of my low immune system, and I love it. I love it.
Better late than never. It's 12:30 in the morning, but I didn't eat all day, and I'm going to have a kale organic tomato sandwich. Sounds good to me. So good.